Today we will be going over the new promotions and the Doomba blacklist. First we will go over the promotions. We will start with the admins and move down to the AFD. The new mods consist of Austin M, Chunky, Niels, Smurfy. Then support is Kana and Hub Schrader. For the APD, we have Sandwich stepping down from the rank of captain. For promotions to lieutenant, we have Nathan and Bush Tiger. The only promotion to sergeant is William. For the promotions to corporal, we have Firestar, Pablo Escobar, Oib, Rando, and Northflanks. On to the AFD promotions. Sealuder got promoted to assistant chief. AMT promotions go as follows: Rando, David Tunn, and a person that goes by the name of Skullhumper on Discord. I've never seen him in game, so if you know him, let me know. That has concluded the promotion section. Let's hope all the people who are promoted continue to support the community for months to come. Now into the situation with Doomba. All we know is he got blacklisted for corruption and they won't tell him why. Here is his side of the story in his own words.
Well, who were with me on the scene, which is why and the only reason I know Retro ended up with those flashbangs is because he told me a couple days later. So if that's in fact the incident that it was, I'll be like, okay, well, you looked at the logs, so look at the logs of who the other constables in Ethereal were at the time and go talk to them, because that was on the up and up. They basically, the plan was they were going to hold a perimeter and shoot at them and keep them down in the house, and I was going to come back with flashbangs for the three of us, and that's the only thing I could think of. But then again, that's not corruption because Retro is not in my gang.
It's reasonable.
And I've heard other stories too from people who, I think they're screwing with me, but I'm not positive. But they're like, "Oh, you said something. We've got the video. You said something heinous in the TeamSpeak," and I'm just like, "What did I say?" "Oh, we can't tell you, but you'll find out in a few days." That kind of thing.
I mean, obviously, over the whole situation with I'm gonna presume that's what happened. I'm gonna assume, since that's like the only thing you have evidence for, by being, that could kind of make sense. Because people just saying, hey, yada yada did this, doesn't really help. But
Well, the other theory that's been brought to my attention is apparently if you don't initiate with someone and take their illegal guns, if you see them, that's corruption.
yeah, didn't you tell me about that?
Yeah. And so I kind of play that fast and loose. If I think I can win the fight, I'll initiate with them. If I don't think I can win the fight, I don't. Because cops should, value their own lives. And if you're surrounded by 5 guys with Mark 1s and they're all in the same group, and you're chilling with them, talking to them, getting backup on the way and that kind of thing, you would be an idiot to be like, oh yeah, it's an illegal weapon, hands up or die. And there's been several instances where I've done exactly that. It's like, I'm like, hey, I need backup in Ethereum. They're like, we can't come. And I'm like, okay. So I just talk to him for a bit and then I leave.
Okay. I mean, that does seem reasonable. I could see if you stood there and talked with them and backup wasn't coming, maybe something along those lines. But I don't know. It's really shitty that they won't tell you exactly. So do they not want to tell you because somebody, like, how the IA reports work? Is it because somebody didn't want to show you the video, or is it specifically they just don't want to tell you what you did at all?
Well, so here's all I know about it. Admins are not supposed to check logs. The chief of police, however, can check logs. And I was banned for corruption, which typically means either the weapons thing or dropping police gear. Or I think you could get it for like being in Discord while you're in cop TeamSpeak. I think that's another thing you could get it for.
What do you mean in Discord and cop TeamSpeak? Because
so if you're on the cop TeamSpeak and chilling in your homie's Discord and you
Okay.
get caught doing that, you can get in trouble.
Okay, but like if my girlfriend or some shit is fucking, I mean, she doesn't even play the game, that's fine, right?
I would all depend on the higher up.
Makes sense. It's okay, I'll yell at him need be. I don't give a fuck.
But that's the only thing I can, like, those are the only scenarios I can think of. Oh, but I was saying is because Nick is an admin, and he was the one who did the blacklist, and Innate approved it. It was for corruption, but Nick, as an admin, isn't supposed to be able to check logs for police corruption. Only the chief of police can do that. So it's like, okay. So if we rule out the checking of logs, then it can't be dropping gear because that's the only way they can catch that. What maybe was Nick an undercover cadet or something and saw me standing around with um, saw me standing around and not initiating with someone or something. Oh, and the other thing too is a couple months ago there was an incident on Civ with Tiberius Cockburns,
Oh
who
yeah.
who got blacklisted.
Are you talking about the
Um,
kidnapping incident?
yeah, where he charged me with like 17 counts of kidnapping.
Oh, that was you that did that. I don't know.
Yeah, I was encouraging him to do that, and I was told a while ago that that might have repercussions back on me, but it had been months. So I don't know if it's just the admins decided to do that. It's like
I mean,
I
if
don't
you
know.
could go through the whole situation with that, because I mean, I'm gonna put this in a video if that's fine with you, but people may
Yeah, that's
not know
fine.
what exactly happened. So if you could just try to explain that situation as well.
So I was stupid. Had read somewhere in the guidebook, or I had been told that you can, if someone self-incriminates, you can charge them with that crime in roleplay. So, like, if someone says, "Oh yeah, I was just at coke fields, gathering coke," you can charge them with possession of cocaine. Well, I was wrong. I found out later that you in fact cannot do that, but that does give you probable cause. So Tiberius, like, I like the dude. He was one of my favorite cops. Every time he'd catch me, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, and also I kidnapped 17 people and stole 30 gold bars and blah blah." And so he would gleefully charge me with all of that, and then just send me straight to jail. And that was just kicking him some money his way. Well, he got a bunch of cops were around when he did it to me, I guess, and they all got like a 200K cut out of a nearly $1 million ticket. And so they're like, "Whoa, what the heck?" So they reported him, and he got blacklisted. And I got kind of talked to, basically got yelled at, saying, "You should know, you're an APD officer, you should know better, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, my bad, won't do that again, whatever." And then I was told that they don't know if any consequences are coming my way for it, but that I shouldn't be surprised if I get them. Now, this was a couple of months ago at least. This is like when I first started playing again after taking a
Yeah,
hiatus.
I think this was like a month or two at most. I mean, I think I have logs of it somewhere of like some fucking buddy doing something. But I mean, that seems more valid than the other situation regarding the. But no, that doesn't make sense at the same time because then they just tell you, they'd know. They wouldn't be like, oh, admit it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anytime shit like this happens, it always makes me feel uneasy because, I could be in your fucking shoes one day, getting fucking blacklisted for some shit that I don't fucking know that maybe happened fucking 3 months ago, you know?
Now, I will say I didn't exactly handle my blacklist appeal the best. Shoot, I'll just read what I said verbatim. Give me a second here. Let me pull it up.
That's fine, you can do that, right? I don't know what the rules are on that is exactly. I don't want you getting fucking banned from the server because right off of admin report. You should be able to, I think.
Okay, so for context for this, I'd already reached out to Nick, who was the guy who blacklisted me, and asked him what was going on, and he said I'd have to talk to the captains, and he wouldn't tell me. And so I was already irritated about that. So I made the blacklist appeal. Basically, he said, why should blacklist reason corruption? Why should you be on blacklisted? I said, I'm not entirely sure why I was blacklisted, but on the rare occasion I play cop, I'm a good cop. Ask anyone who's ever been processed by me, I like the RP. And then it says, any comments or concerns? And I said, I feel like someone got a little heated with my Aethera trolling.
And that is the reason why. Didn't you say you called somebody fat or something along those lines?
No, that comes next.
Okay. I'll let you continue.
So Innate then responds, and this is what like kind of teed me off, is instead of being like, oh, you dropped gear to, a gangmate, or you did any of these things, he responds with, there's nothing you've done that could have possibly resulted in a blacklist, question mark. And so I went a little heated. I said, can you just cut the crap and tell me what I did? This kind of shit is why I hate dealing with anyone in the APD higher than a corporal. And then I took it a step further and I said, also, be honest, this is the face you made typing that, wasn't it? And I posted the fat gumball dude with the headset. And so then he responds immediately with, well, not immediately, but he responds a couple hours later with, if you won't even admit what you did, we can't possibly have a discussion regarding your appeal. And so then I went even more heated, and I did the whole, the whole like mocking SpongeBob font thing where you capitalize certain letters.
Yeah.
Well, I said, if you won't even admit what you did, we can't possibly have a discussion regarding your appeal in that text. And then I did the GIF of like the fat gumball again, but it was a GIF this time where he's like looking all smug at the camera and doing hand gestures and stuff. And then this is where I definitely got in trouble. I said, I tell you to go fuck yourself, but the effort would leave your diabetic body wheezing. Then you'd make a Reddit post complaining about your botched circumcision being to blame. Fuck it, I'll just wait until the next chief and roll the dice that he's not a massive cock. And so he responds, okay, have fun, appeal denied.
I don't know who
Which,
it is.
fair.
It's Tyson
Thanks, friend.
And then Rogue, so I was talking to Rogue about this. I was like, no one will tell me why I was blacklisted. I'm not asking to be unblacklisted. I just want to know why I was unblacklisted. And so Rogue responds to my thread after he and I were talking in Discord. And he said, this can be, he quoted me saying, this kind of shit is why I hate dealing with anyone in the APD higher than a corporal. He said, this can be applied in both ways. Higher-ups, APD, AFD, and admins have to deal with this type of situation all the time. If you cannot be respectful, how can you expect the higher-ups to treat you with any sort of respect or seriousness? Nate was giving you a chance to come clean. Everything is logged for a reason. So I saw that. I immediately... Give me 1 second here while I pull up. But I saw that, and I immediately went to the Discord convo I was having with Rogue, and I was like, so what did I do then? Come clean about what? And he says, I don't know. I don't deal with that. The AFD captain does. Or the AFD
APD.
chief of police does.
APD,
APD, yeah. The APD chief of police does. And so I was like, all right.
Yeah, it's... I mean, could we admit that mistakes were made on both sides, presumably? I'm assuming you could... you maybe shouldn't have been as devious as you were, and maybe they could, not be a complete goofball.
I mean... Yeah, was me responding in that way the correct thing to do? No. Would I do it again? Yeah. Because it's what set me off, like the core of this whole issue was instead of coming to me like a normal person and being like, oh, you did this and this and this, he tries to be coy, and like that just reeks of an ego trip to me. And so my immediate like knee-jerk response to that is to insult them, essentially. And is that the correct response to have? No, especially not when you want something out of someone. But I've never been the kind of guy to like slob on the knob for in-game stuff.
That's reasonable.
That's why I'm a constable and not a sergeant or corporal or lieutenant. That's why I've been a constable for, geez, probably since 2015 or even sooner.
Do you know the date and maybe the time of when you got blacklisted and when you made the reports and whatnot, or do you not want to share that?
No, that's fine. So Tuesday, so it was at the 4th is when I noticed blacklisted. I've been blacklisted the day before that on the 3rd. But I didn't notice until the 4th, because I don't hop on cop all that often, because I don't like dealing with the higher-ups and all the sycophants who like will jump in the channel and circle jerk when I'm trying to like, play cop and be an RPer. And so anytime there's a higher-up on, comms are just aides. So I like to wait until it's just constables or there's only a handful of people or whatever, and then I'll jump on and be on cop.
That's reasonable. And
so one of those instances came in on the 4th, because everyone was out doing 4th of July stuff. So I went to try and hop on cop, and it told me I wasn't whitelisted to use the slots. Then I went and checked the forums, and that's when I noticed.
Okay, so I thought this happened a little bit before, but this just happened.
Yeah.
Do you know when the incident regarding the house raid happened? Like, or estimate time? Like,
I want to say it was a week or two ago.
A week or two ago. From the blacklist or from current time?
From current time.
So that would be July 6th. Okay. And the Tiberius situation happened like a month or two ago.
Gosh, there's no like record of it, so I don't remember, but it was more than a month ago. That I do know.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, is there anything else we should touch up on? Anything you want to say about the situation? Anything that you'd want people to know about?
I guess one thing that. Well, let me think.
I mean, I have to do this video by tonight since it's Thursday, but I mean, if you forget about something and you want to call on Discord or some shit, like in an hour or two, you know, we could do that need be.
Well, I was just gonna say it's like a lot of people are gonna. I'm not gonna dispute the fact that it's correct. They're gonna say, "Well, you shouldn't have come at him like that," and blah 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 blah. Fine. I have no interest in being the bigger man. This is a video game. This is not real life, and a lot of people seem to forget that this is a video game and not real life. And the number one priority of anyone in power is to make sure that the game is fun for everyone involved. And when people fail to do that, that's what causes basically communities to die.
That's reasonable. That's reasonable. And everything you said to me today is true to the best of your knowledge, right?
Yes.
That's pretty much that. I mean, we can stop the recording here, right?
Yeah, if I think of something else, I'll let you know.
Okay.